because of my policy now, what we're running, we don't need cash up front to be able to have and sell as much as we like. The only thing we need money for is ads, so we can keep growing inevitably in this model. But we need cash to be able to buy stock for 4 months ahead of however long it take a factory overseas to produce the volume we're doing now and have it here ready.
Sure. So you're seriously thinking about raising money?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so I can give you some advice on that. We've been through a big fundraising event. I'll give you a little bit of my side and I'll ask you a few more questions about what you think and after you've heard what I've said. But for me, fundraising, lots of people, especially as I think in American culture, it's quite normal to get fundraising very frequently and to do it from a very early stage. But for me, the longer you can hold off fundraising, the better for you. Because obviously as you fundraise, if your company says today is worth, let's call it £5 million, somebody gives you £1 million, you've lost 20% of your company. Okay. In say a year's time, you could be worth double that, treble that. And that means you get diluted by less. So we held out for 3.5 years. Luckily, I had a previous business. So I put some initial money in, but we bootstrapped, after that initial couple £100,000 I put in at the start, we bootstrapped to that 3.5 years. And technically we didn't need the money at that time. So there's another sort of strong piece of advice I would do. Don't raise money when you need it. Because if you raise it when you actually need it, then the potential investor has sort of got you over a barrel. You will get worse terms. So in an ideal world, you want to try and get investment into the business at a time when you're not desperate. If you're desperate for money, your terms would be very bad. And I think two things. One is that people quite often see the amount of money you raised and they will see the valuation of the company. But sometimes people can get the valuation quite high by giving in the terms, they'll get what they call a preference, which means they will get their money out first by a multiple of the money they put in. And the horrible thing about that is that even if your company sells for quite a large number, you could personally end up walking away with nothing, even though you've got the majority of the shares. Their share technically is sort of worth more than yours because they get a multiple of their money out first. So you have to ensure that you get a very good legal team to go through the documents and ensure that they are experienced in doing that type of process. The team that we use, which I can recommend, those guys are really good. They gave us loads of advice. It's not cheap, but it's worth it if you're raising a significant amount of money. Companies typically want to invest in growth. So as long as you can get year-on-year growth, and if you can scrape through a little bit longer and get some more growth, then people will come to you. If you had people reach out to you so far?
A few, yeah. It's such a grey area. There's so many of them, so many options and conversations you have, and everybody's got their own story and their own pros and cons. It's quite hard to.
Another piece of advice I get on this, I think, is that we went through a process and we obviously had lots of people approach us. We didn't really reach out to anybody. These were all people that approached us, and there were some very big, well-known firms, and all of them will try and spin their added value to you. In general, they have all got added value, but they've all got added value. So I take that out of the equation. I sort of say, well, you've all got added value, therefore it's not worth anything for me. I'm not going to give you better terms just because you've got added value, because the other guy's got added value. It comes down to money. It comes down to money and terms. So I would look at them, and you have to meet them and go, because the relationship's quite important as well. So the guys we met, we ended up going for dinner with them, and we vetted them that way as well. And I think that's a good thing to do. I think you need to think ahead, because what you don't want to do is raise multiple times, because every time you raise, you're going to get diluted more and more and more. So you don't want to get addicted to money. So some of them would ask for a plan. How are you going to spend this money in the next 18 months or next 12 months? I'm not saying it's none of their business, but it's like, I don't want to spend it. In some ways, I don't want to spend all the money, because if I spend all the money and I'm not profitable, I've got to come back and ask you for more, which means I'm going to lose more and more of my company. So the raise we did, hopefully, that's the only raise we will ever do. So it's more than what we needed, and the majority of it is still left in the bank. It's there for a rainy day. So you want to raise once if you can, and raise enough money that will get you through to a final event or get you through forever. But obviously the key to do that is obviously you want to be profitable, because the problem with fundraising, typically it takes a number of months. So if you need it quick, there may be faster solutions. When we were a bit tight for money, we actually raised money from a bank which specializes in helping startups. So they may be easier to speak to because they're used to dealing with this sort of situation rather than just a traditional bank. Effectively, I think it was classified actually as an overdraft. We could dip into it when we needed to. But it was big. It was a big number. And then what we did is use that overdraft. And then when we did the fundraising event, we paid that overdraft off. It was the first thing that we did. So that could be another route. And it should be faster than doing a whole fundraising, because a fundraising exercise will be quite time intensive. I thought it'd be easy. It took a number of months, and there's a lot of due diligence to be done. That means I think the fastest way possible really to do it is going to be a number of months, 3 months plus.
Yeah.
Whereas to raise some money via a bank, and a bank that specializes in helping startups could be a lot quicker.
Yeah.
There's another thing you can do that we did as well, is that when money was a little bit tight and we wanted to spend some more money, that you can change payment terms. So for example, on Facebook, payment terms are typically, they take the money almost daily, don't they? They take tranches out of your, they take payments daily. So if you want to spend more and you want to make your money go further, you can agree payment terms with Facebook. Yeah. So I can't remember what it is, but I think we said, look, we want to spend money with you. We haven't got quite the money now, but obviously the money comes through the door every time we generate a sale, but it takes a little bit of time to get through. So I can't remember exactly what it was. It might have been 30 to 60 days we extended it to. And if you do that across all of your businesses you deal with, for everything from suppliers through to anything that you're spending money on, that gives you another extra bit of money to spend in the next 30 days. So there are, you can aim for, I think in some of them, we've even got them up to say 100, 120 days, something like that. Do you personally do much on LinkedIn?
No, not really. But right. Just in Clavio told me an interesting story about your fundraising with your LinkedIn post.
LinkedIn.
He was raving about you.
Okay, so LinkedIn has done us big favors in terms of that respect. It builds your profile and builds your business profile. The engagement on LinkedIn is way above what you'll see on Instagram or Facebook. Yeah. It's phenomenal at the moment. So get yourself on LinkedIn and start posting some numbers. I remember one of our non-execs, I just posted we sold 500,000 meals, and the non-exec, one of our guys we work with now, he saw that, he got in touch with me, and then each time we hit a milestone of 5 million meals, 50 million meals, 100 million meals, every time we do that, you get an influx of people either to the brand, but also you get an influx of people interested in either working for you or investing in you. I would do that. You've got a very good growth story, and you've probably got some big numbers. How many items of clothing have you sold in 2 years? Yeah. I saw today you've got 200,000 plus people on Instagram followers. What's your year-on-year growth? What's your month-on-month growth? What's your biggest month? All those sorts of things will make you a hotter prospect